Hi everyone, welcome back to Crochet Rocks. I'm just going to do a bit more of my WIP because, well, I haven't touched this for a few days and I've been kind of not not having too much exposure to it because it's got some wool content. So I'm just going to drop you down so that you can see what I'm working on. Hopefully, for some reason, not really. Hang on, let's just, there we go. Now I can go up a bit. Oh, I get nosebleed up here. It won't last. I shall gradually start to sink because this chair does that. Unfortunately, I've lost my glasses. I can't find them anywhere. So I've got to use these, and they make those horrible red kind of patches either side of your nose, those indentations that never seem to go, which is annoying. I have no idea where they are, what's happened to them. Hang on a minute. I've got to remember what I was doing. I've got to remember what I was doing. So yeah, did I chain there? Don't think I did. I'm not sure. I don't think I did. Anyway, got a feeling. No, let's just not worry about that then. I think it's fine. We'll know when we get to the end if I've done the right thing. So how are you guys? What have you been up to? Are you working on anything wonderful? I've got a bit of a problem with this. It's a centre pull thing and it's starting to sag in on itself. So I'll try, there we are, open it up a bit. But I've got to be careful it doesn't dangle into my tea. I made myself a nice cup of tea to do this. So, yeah, I mustn't kind of dip it in because that would just, well, that would be good, would it? So I haven't worked on this for a few days now because I had company and I don't think I got stuck into it after Harley and Alfie went home. So it's been quite a while. It's annoying. I thought it would be a good centre pull thing, but I'm not so sure. You know, when you got, it's not sticking as such, you can just feel that there is resistance, which isn't great. I don't like it. I like it to just flow freely, and it doesn't seem to want to do that. And hang on, I've just got to get this up. There we go, because it was starting to, the weight of it pulls it down and it's only going to get heavier. So once it's a certain length, you just sort of tuck it under your arm a bit so that you're you can close your arm and keep it there, but it sort of pulls down and it's quite a weight. There we go. And the wool keeps getting up my nose. So if you see me do this, it's because I'm allergic to it, basically. And it is kind of a little bit fluffy, a little bit hairy, you know. So I just want to get it used. And I thought it would be a good idea to get. I've got these two, and I've got two of two other colours. So I've got a lot of it to get rid of, really. Which, you know, it's going to be a mission when you've got an itchy nose, and maybe I should wear a mask and gloves and maybe a hazmat suit or something when I work with it. I don't know. But, you know, when Gary got it for me, he didn't know that I was allergic. And to be honest, I would have thought when I was a kid, I was allergic. I always thought it was just mohair. But obviously not. So I shall be glad when it's done, but I'm only like a quarter of the way in so far. But, you know, it's one of those projects. If it didn't have wool, I'd have had it finished long ago because I could have watched TV and done it. And because it has, I have to kind of pace it. But I've got another project that I need to finish and get the tutorial done. Should have done that, really. But I kind of been, I don't know, don't know what I've been doing with myself. I was packing orders earlier and doing some stuff on my channel. Because I've done quite a few videos, I didn't really kind of want to get stuck into anything major, because there's 2 bags that I want to make. Now, there was one the other day and it's grown. I've got 2 now. So, yeah, there's 2 that I want to do. And I don't think, well, one of them I might have got done, but the other one, no, because I want to strengthen it. And I've got several options, because some people, you know, they just see an old bag that they're not going to use anymore and kind of use bits of it, you know, take it apart. And that's one thing I could do. And the other thing is use those kind of things with holes in, you know, those grid things that you can buy. And I've got some thicker ones and some thinner ones, but the thinner ones are shaped and they're not big enough, so that wouldn't really work. Ooh, did the wrong stitch then, nearly. So yeah, I need to kind of think more about that one, and it's more a case of getting that done when I get back. But I want to make it out of Firefly, you know, the King Cole yarn that I've got in my shop now that I've tried to get for ages. Some beautiful yarn, and I want to do a bag with it. I wanted to do a bag with it so I could take it on holiday with me, but I suppose I could try, but I haven't really got long now, to be honest, and we're going to be busy when Gary's off getting stuff ready, so it might not really work out. So that is, I believe, yes. I know I remember when I get to the other end. Oh, I thought I got a big watch on, but it turned out it was a button on my phone. Well, yeah. No, silly Moo nearly did it again. Oh, this yarn. Oh, making my nose itch. I'm going to give it a good scoosh in a minute. Oops. Nearly went in the wrong thing. Oh, man. It isn't great. I hate allergies. I don't see why I have to put up with more. I've got so many. And just recently, there's been all the rapeseed in all the fields. And ordinarily, I quite like the smell of it. And it doesn't affect me. But there's so much of it. There's been a bit of an overkill on the planting of it. And every single field that you can see around here is yellow. And I think the air is just got that sweet, I like the smell, sweet smell of the flowers, but it's because it's such a concentration of it, it's giving me asthma. It's taking my breath away a bit. And a lot of people saying the same thing. But normally, you know, you get a field of it, and then in the distance you might see another one, and then another one. But it's just so much of it at the minute. And they do say it's because it's a cash crop for farmers. Oh, hang on. Here we go. And it's not good touching your hand touching it, because you're putting more there. Never mind. Got to do it, haven't we? Got to do it. Yeah. Maybe that'll help stop it from being heavy if I tuck it under that one. So yeah, I've finally remembered to put the picnic blanket that I made last year, because I did a crochet along for a cotton picnic blanket. I don't like that stitch. It's split, so I'm going to take it out completely. Yeah, I made a crochet along for a picnic blanket, and it's been in the house ever since, because obviously it was winter and you don't go out on picnics. But I finally remembered, put it in the car. So if we're ever out and about and we need a blanket, it's all made with cotton yarn. It's like a sampler blanket. If I can remember, I'll put part 1 when the videos come in at the end. I'll put part 1 there, because obviously everybody starts with part 1. So if you want to see it and take part in it this year, you can, because all of the videos are there. And the way I crochet is I kind of understand that people lose a stitch here and there, and some stitches take a few more than others, or one more or one less. So there's ways around that. So I'd always try and say, don't get bent out of shape over the stitch count, you know. So if you're the kind of person who really likes to be precise, then maybe that's not for you. But I don't know, it's you can still be precise, of course, but it stops all that unnecessary frogging. Because when you're dealing with something that's, you know, quite a large size, and you've got one end won't see the other end sort of thing, it doesn't have to be that much of a deal, really. Anyway, better drink some of this tea. Let's get this one done. Why does that happen? Maybe I'm too fast for it. It's a gigantic cup of tea, so figured it at last. Oh, I need that. I'll tell you what, it's so big, that cup, that I quite often don't get to finish it. Because I chat while I'm doing this. Obviously it'd be a bit boring if you just sat and watched me and I didn't say anything. Although maybe some people might prefer that. But that means you don't tend to drink it properly, and I end up with it being a bit too cold and not so good. But that was just right. So yeah, nice cup of Yorkshire biscuit tea. I've got to pull some more out. I'd be a bit worried about what this is going to be like when it gets even thinner on the inside of this cake. It looked like it was going to stand up to it and be good, but the one thing I really don't want is it to send in a load of yarn bath. That really will put the icing on the cake, really. Hate that. I'm not very good at unravelling, you know, just not. So maybe what I'll do is, when I get to that sort of stage, I'll do something like find the other end and maybe make a new cake out of it. Because I've got my cake maker. I have the clover one, because although everybody was raving about the Stanwood, it's clunky and sharp. I do have one, but it's relegated to just sitting on the floor in the yarn van, because it's just marks all the countertop. It's just annoying. So I invested, I did buy them for my shop, but I think I've sold out now. And I have 2 of them because I lost mine and I ended up having another one. So I got the clover ones. They do a large ball as well. They'll do sort of, I've done over 100 grams, and it's caked up really well. I've got more dotted around, actually. This one isn't obviously very big, but the other day when I was sitting there, I thought any that's sort of laying around that is an end of ball. This was when I did the happy. I did get happy blanket, and those were the ones that were left over. So as they were just sort of there, I thought I'd cake them and make some, what's the word? I'd tidy them up. That's what I'm trying to say, you know, rather than balling them up, because then they, you know, roll around the floor and you need to put them in something when you're using them. But if you cake them, put them on the wall genie, and it's you know, much better. So yeah, So I could have started from the outer edge on these, put it on the wall genie, but it was very dense to try and find the middle. But maybe that's what I'll do with the other one. So I'll end with the pink and then I'll start with the pink. Don't know, we'll see. Not really sure what to do with that really. So here we go again, another row. It's a nice big blanket this, so I just hope I've got enough. Nope. Oh, yeah. Did it again. Ah! Yeah, I hope I've got enough to do that. I was thinking it was too much, but I guess I'm halfway through the cake and I'm a quarter way through the blanket, so it should be just right. Don't know what I'm going to do about an edging though. I guess it's because I'm just winging it, you know, as I go. I tend to do that. Do you ever just wing a blanket, or do you follow patterns or tutorials? I just kind of grab my hook and start doing stuff. And sometimes I think, right, making a tutorial out of that. And other times, I don't. It's like the Dougie blanket. I made a blanket of a dog character from a cartoon called Dougie. And my grandson Tyler loved Dougie. Yeah, Dougie. Loved him. So I made him a Dougie blanket. And I just made a brown dog that looked like Dougie. And made a blanket around him. And kind of freestyled him. But it wouldn't be something that I'd want to, you know, sit there and try and work out as a pattern. I just made Dougie. Just took my hook, looked at the picture, and I made Dougie in the right shape. Yeah. So, and I've done lots of things like character hats and snowmen and pandas and all sorts of hats in the past for people. I even made Toothless the Dragon for Gary's son, and Rainbow Dash Unicorn pony. And, you know, I've done all those, but I've never done one for the channel. Just made them and gave them, sort of thing. Freestyled them. Made minion outfits, minion hats, minion everything. I even made Pokemon, what they called, cocoon for a baby when Tyler was in Gemma's tummy. She was Pokemon crazy and she was going out doing Pokemon Go at the time. So I made her one of those, you know, everybody likes those little nappy covers with booties and mittens so that they can take a picture of the baby wearing them. And then I made her a cocoon. And when she did it, she put it back to front. So she put the Pokeball on the front. I went, it's for his bum. You know, you turn him over and oh, is it? So I thought, you know, bless her. Totally got it wrong, but never mind. I gave it to her anyway. So just bits of nonsense, aren't they, really? But I used to do a lot of stuff. And I guess it's because, you know, at the time I had a reason to make that. Whereas now I have no reason to do the baby stuff. But I kind of try and do one now and then for my channel. But I need some grandchildren. That's what it is. Newborn babies. That's what we need. Going to production. I've made blankets, of course. I made one not so long ago for Gary's cousin's daughter's baby. So yeah, there's always babies. That's one good thing, but we need some more. I know Charlotte's not up for having any more. She's got 3, but definitely need a reason to crochet something else. And I've been looking at my knitting needles. They're sitting up. You know, those fangled new ones, circulars and all that. Yeah. Basic mum's old knitting needles. That's my favourite ones. So yeah, I want to do something, but I'm not sure what yet. I'm not going to maybe make anything that thin. I have some quite thick yarn, so perhaps I will knit something with that, because I've I've got some really nice metallic lilac and pinks that I got from one of my yarn quests when I went off searching for yarn, and then I do the video, like the yarn quest video, and I've got all of those, and they'd look nice if I knitted those up. I think they're a bit thick to crochet with. Do you like crocheting, or the look of crochet with really thick yarn? Because it's not something that I've ever really liked or wanted to do. You know, I find the stitches are a bit on the bulky side. Even if you use a bigger hook, then they're just bigger. And my mum used to be a very loose, big kind of crocheter, and I never liked that. So consequently, I've only really used, I only kind of crochet up to Aran, and very occasionally do chunky, but never really do super chunky, which is super bulky for you guys across the pond. I try my best to swallow quietly so it doesn't gulp. I was talking to my son earlier. He's been making music again. And if you've been with me for a while, you'll know that my youngest writes songs and records them. Both my boys sing, but Michael's the one that plays instruments, writes songs, and gets them recorded, sort of thing. And he's busy writing new ones and kind of releasing his older ones. So pretty soon he might do something for me to put on to update all the stuff that I've previously put on with him on. So yeah, that might happen soon. Oh, wow. I want to make paella today. I was going to do a risotto, and Gary's decided he'd rather have paella. So I got prawns out to put in it. Well, shrimp to you guys across the pond. To us, shrimp's tiny. A little tiny itty bitty thing that looks similar to a prawn, but they have a bit of a sharper, saltier taste. Shrimps for us, but you can have big old shrimps, because we just call them prawns. I love the way Gary says prawns. Makes me giggle. I might even get to the bottom of this one. Perhaps. We'll see. Hold on. Right, so here we are. That's how big it is now. Starting to become lilac, and then it will go pink. I think this looks wishy-washy, but when you see it up close, it's not, because this has got light blue and a bit of light lilac, so it beiges, which is weird. But if you hold it up, you can see they're both in there, but it does kind of, yeah. How long have I been babbling for? 23 minutes already. No wonder my tea's going cold. So yeah, what are you guys working on? Are you having a holiday this year? And if so, where are you going? Anywhere nice? We're away soon. We're gonna go to Scandinavia. We'll be in Denmark and Sweden. We're on a cruise, so we won't be any one place for long, but we're going to 2 places in Denmark and 2 places in Sweden. I think we've got 5 stops altogether. One might be Amsterdam, the first stop. Imbuden, it's called, but we're going to be going to see the tulips. Yes, never seen all that. My mum would have loved that, see the tulips in Amsterdam. So that's what we're doing. We're going to go and see this tulips. Well, this place, I guess, that does thousands and thousands of tulips. So that's what we're doing on our first day one, really, because when we wake up, it's the first morning, that's what we're doing. It's like we're right there. So that's day one. We've got a couple of kind of like, I know we're going on a ship, but then we've got a few boat trips and land and sea things and forts and stuff like that. And then we're going to do this thing that is a Viking experience. So I can't wait for that because I loved all those Viking programs. I really, The Last Warrior, was it? Last Kingdom. One was called Warrior or something. And one was about Uhtred, son of Uhtred. Loved that one. And then there was one that was about Ragnar, and loved that one as well. But so yeah, it will be fun to go to the Viking experience and see the museum and maybe get some memorabilia. I do have a bit of memorabilia already that I bought at Comic-Con. I bought a Viking horn cup, and I did drink out of it once, but it's made has a real horn. And I bought it with the intention of one of the times that we go to Comic-Con dressing up as a Viking and using it. Too cold now. I won't be drinking any more of that. So yeah, it's got a stand or a thigh strap that you can put on to keep your horn attached. So the only bit of the costume I ever did buy. Well, we are going again to Comic-Con next year. So this year, though, we've got that trip, and then we're going to Cornwall, in the summer. We're going to go to Tintagel and see the statue of the king, which is probably King Arthur. And we're staying in Camelot Castle for a night, so that'll be cool. And then we're going to go see Jamie, which is Gary's son, who lives near St Austell. So we're going to be doing that, and that's then. And then in the winter, we're going to have a Christmas market cruise, which will be fun, and hopefully see different Christmas markets this time from the ones that we went to before, because it's a different place. And so yeah, that's all the things that we're doing this year. But I can't wait to go to Cornwall. Just hope that we have the weather, because that's the one thing about trips in the UK that you can never really guarantee, is whether we're going to have good weather or whether winter will come back for a week, because that sometimes does. But we've been very lucky whenever we've been to Cornwall in the past, that the weather's been glorious. But I just think, well, maybe our luck will run out this time. I don't know. We'll enjoy it, whatever, because it's beautiful. I did want to do we might go and do a little boat trip while we're there as well. Perhaps see the puffins on the Puffin Island. So yeah, I might want to do that, or we'll see. We're just close by here, really. But we do love the West Coast. It's beautiful. So yeah, I usually, long time ago, we always used to take our kids to Devon rather than Cornwall. But because Jamie lives in Cornwall, we're sort of seeing more of Cornwall now. And it's nice because they make Poldark, where he lived, or just up the road. So that was good to see. So I might actually look for some yarn on my travels. I don't know if I'll find it, although I know Denmark have got Hobby, however it's pronounced. But apparently I keep seeing these videos about how they could be the next Joanne and that they might be going under. Of course, I don't know if it's true. It's just a few videos I've seen. I haven't watched them. I've just seen the titles and the thumbnails. But yeah, I'm not sure if we'll be anywhere near it. Otherwise, I'll pop in or any kind of yarn shops to see what I can find when I'm there. Last time when we went to the Christmas markets, I did find, going around the Christmas market, I found some yarn in Hamburg, but I did it as my members' giveaways. I gave away hanks of that to my members, and some of the hanks that I got from Knit Crate as well. I've been doing those in giveaways and members' ones. So yeah, it's all got wool in it. It's not really any good to me. Not all of it, but don't think I kept any of it. Wow, actually looking good for having enough yarn, isn't it? Because that's quite a big chunk now that I've done, and I've still got all of this. Oh dear, now the doodahs fell off. Never mind. It's Yarn Art Flowers Merino. The one that this colour is called 551. Yep, 551. Knit Your Love, it says. No, I'm crocheting it instead. It would hurt my hands more if I was knitting with it, because you hold more of it. But if I've been pacing myself with it, I've found that it's not really affecting me. As soon as I feel it starts to kind of prickle my hands, I stop. And then by leaving a nice big gap, I've not had any of the problems. And when I used wool before, and I just didn't sort of take that into consideration, what it did was it made me have quite a lot of rough skin. And it took me ages. I mean, a long time to get rid of that. And so I didn't want to repeat of that. And by doing it the way I've been doing it, that's not happened. So good. Yeah, I found a way of being able to use it, just not have it an hour today or so, and then next time I do it would be kind of a few days time. I might take this project on my trip with me, because I think that, you know, I won't get a chance to crochet all the time, and that's good then. I'll be giving it a few days in between, so we'll see. Really, Gary said, are you going to take a book? I'm still not going to be on the ship that much, to be honest, because it's a bit of an odd one. They must be very close by each other. Oh, nearly forgot to do that one. They must be quite close by, because we've only got maybe one complete sea day in the whole trip, because they you know, by the time you kind of wake up in the morning, you're there on all of them. So yeah, won't really be. And I suppose, you know, some of our excursions are only half day. Well, most of them are just half a day. I think the longest one will be 5 hours. But then you're back and you're getting ready for dinner and all those things. So, you know, you might not necessarily have a lot of sea time, if you know what I mean, to get these things done. So I don't think I'll take much to do, but I always take a project or some yarn. And one time I took some yarn with me, and I didn't really have a project, and they had a crochet knitting group. So we joined it, and as luck would have it, I was just sitting there talking and messing around, and I sort of designed one of my squares for a year of granny squares, which so I didn't even think about what I was doing. I was just went along with it, and there it was. I was like, oh, that's cool, I'll film that. So I did, but that's come to an end. Can you believe it? I've done week 52 of a year of granny squares. So now I'm still carrying on, but it's not called a year of granny squares anymore. It is called a year of motifs, where that will include mandalas, shapes, hexagons, and squares. So there'll be just lots of different things rather than just squares, which is good. So it opens it up for more stuff, and it also gives me a kick up the backside to make sure I keep on creating stuff and not just get lazy. Because when I first started my channel, I actually did a lot of tutorials, and I don't know what happened. Maybe it was because of lockdown or things going on in my life, I don't know, but I actually went months and months and months without making a tutorial once. And my channel sort of suffered because of it, and I was just, I don't know, kind of lost my way in a way. And so doing something like that, it kind of galvanizes you into getting back into the swing of having to create every week at least one thing, and then that means that you end up, because you've got that creative juices flowing as such, you end up doing more and more things. So not all the things I wanted to do, mind, but I'll get there eventually. When I get back from my trip, might be easier. Oh, it looked like it was going to collapse in on itself then. How long now? Oh, 35 minutes. Getting a view of my nasty neck. Nasty neck. Since I had my operation, I hate my neck. You know, can't really do anything about it. It's just where I had an operation, but I really do hate my neck. I think he should have tidied it up after the operation, but that's the NHS for you. If it's not necessary in their eyes, then they don't do it. And I would have to pay a fortune to get somebody to sort it out. So that's not happened. My eyes, he should have done it. But, you know, I understand how busy he is. Purdy? Getting there. I haven't got anyone in mind for this blanket. I'm just making it. It will come, you know, it will, what's the word I'm looking for? Become apparent who it belongs to at some point. Although I just took out into the yarn van a big pack of blankets that I've done. And out there's also another box of them somewhere. When I put them all together, they are blankets without homes. But the last ones I did some shorts for. So you might see some shorts pop up, which will be various sort of tutorials I've done. If I find the others, then I can do the same thing and sort of give those a little boost. And maybe some other tutorials that I might still have the stuff for. Like my blanket. I've done my blankets, my bags, not all of them. Can't find one of them. Well, I can. It's out in the yarn van somewhere. Along with all the other stuff, probably. But I want to make a couple more that are in my head. So. Oh, it's irritating. There now. Like a fibre. A fibre. I'll only do about an hour. That way I can pace my poor little pandies. Won't sort of get too much exposure. This is a stitch tutorial that I've recently done, and it is the reverse blanket stitch. So I found most people, when they had put the reverse blanket stitch on, then the sides were more bumpy. It stuck out at the sides as well as the front, and I found a way of making it so that it had straight edges, so that you don't have to have that as a border. You can choose whatever border you want to put on, and because as a border it wasn't really enough, if you know what I mean. So yeah, I managed to find a way of straightening it off, and so I did the tutorial, and now this is a blanket which I will do a tutorial for once I get back. But I don't know really what to do for an edging. Work itself out, I guess. Anyway, what are you guys kind of working on at the minute? And I've asked you this already. Are you doing one project or are you doing many? Because that's the thing, isn't it? Oh, yeah, it's right. I did it right. I've got a few WIPs, one of which was something that I should have made for somebody for Christmas, and well, didn't get finished. So yeah, I need to get that done. I did toy with the idea of taking that on holiday with me, but I'm not so sure. All I really need to do it's a Captain America blanket, and it's the hard bits that I need to do. So I need to just sit down and get that out of the way, and then I can put it together. I've got all these tutorials, part tutorials, on my computer saved, ready for me to finish it. And there's a few things like that where I've started the tutorials, and it just needs me to do the rest and finish it off. So yeah, need to get that done. Yeah, it's finding the time. There's not enough time for everything, you know. Everything that's on my channel, whether it's open with me's and yarn and more yarn and giveaways and chats and everything, it all takes time. And then you've got order packing and maintenance of shop online, you know, and all that stuff. And when you're at home working, there's the washing up, the clothes washing, hanging it up, putting it away, all the things, making the dinner when Gary's working, all the things that, you know, you do in life. Whereas if I went to a place of work, I wouldn't be able to do any of those, would I? So I would just be getting stuck in to my job. You know, there is a lot to be said for having an actual shop to go to, and then I would get no time to record, because, you know, if you might get a customer come in and you've got to keep pausing your videos, which wouldn't really work because you lose track of what you're doing. So yeah, sometimes I think it'd be nice to have maybe one of those stalls that you don't do every day of the week, but maybe a couple of days a week in a shopping centre, and you could just take that for those days and work there on those days and have a physical presence somewhere, and then do the rest of the time you'd be making videos and all that. But I don't know, commitment, that kind of commitment, every, say what, Tuesday and Thursday, that's what you do. It's like, oh, I don't know. I can't wait for the pink bit. Although this is a nice lilac colour, it's two-tone, and it's now becoming lilac and white, so it's brightening up. Won't be long before I'm calling it a day, because I can feel where this is touching my arm, it's starting to prickle it just a little bit, and as soon as I feel like that's happening everywhere, or, you know, everywhere that touches it, it's time to put it down. So that's really that's my benchmark time. It's just got brighter. The screensaver came on. So I've been following all of the disclosure stuff, you know, for the UFO files and everything else. And yesterday, Donald Trump said it's going to be very soon that they'll be releasing a lot of videos and images. And my question to you is, do you think that they're going to cherry pick so that we're still the way we are now in terms of whether we kind of believe it or not? Or will they actually, hang on, I've got to plug in. Will they actually release good stuff? I'm kind of in two minds about that, because all I hear is that Hegseth and Rubio and Trump all want to do the disclosure, but that it's down to the Ministry of War and private enterprise that they've kind of got involved and all that stuff, and you know, other national security issues and all that stuff that kind of stop them and prevent them, and that they're not the ones in charge of whether that's going to come out or not. So my question is, do you think we're going to be spoon-fed a bit of information to pacify us and make us go away? Or are they going to tell the whole story? I don't believe they will. I don't believe they'll tell the whole story. I've watched the Age of Disclosure. Is it the Moment of Disclosure? I don't know. I've watched all of the documentaries. I watched Bob Lazar's latest documentary, S4. I watched them all. I watched. I like James Fox a lot, and he did that one about Virginia, the Brazilian Roswell incident, and I've watched all of them. So yeah, Space Cadet, I'm afraid, but I find it intriguing. I think that nobody has got the right to keep anything that big from us, because they are only mere mortals the same as us, and they haven't got the right to keep that from me. And all this national security is just baloney. We know if they exist and they've got those capabilities, that's a moot point, having control of the skies, the seas, whatever. If they're really there and they have that capability, then they have that capability, and that's all there is to it. So I don't believe all that is a good enough reason to keep it from us. And I know that a lot of people are saying that it's because it would unravel the fabric of our society and our belief systems, like religion. I don't think it will. I think that people will apply it, and still believe the things they believe, and just apply it to it. I just don't think it's going to do what I just don't think it's right that they have the right to keep it from anybody. I mean, there's always this thought as well that the reason that they keep stuff like that as well a secret is because if they had that kind of propulsion and 0 point energy, then that would be the end of the petrodollar and the end of the dependence on oil. So all of that money tied up in oil, would be gone, and it's a free energy. So nobody in power or in those industries really want that. So yeah, there's a lot involved. But yeah, definite space cadets in here. Love all that. And the 3i Atlas stuff recently with Avi Loeb. I was very into that. So I watched this guy. He's really lovely. His name is Ray, and he is an astrophotographer, and he does shows all the comets and the moon, and he shows the sun. He's got a telescope trained on the sun, and with all the right filters. So he looks at the sunspots and the storms, the geomagnetic storms, and he does live streams, and he does all sorts. And he's Indian, and it's called Ray's Astrophotography, and I love watching him. He's so calm and so respectful and so nice, just love watching him, and so knowledgeable and not prone to fancy, which is another thing I like. So yeah, I've got a lot of time for him. So I don't just sit there and watch our aliens, real stuff, There we go. I'm going to call it a day because it's starting to prickle me. But it didn't quite make the hour this time, but there's plenty more hours to do it, isn't there? I like it so far. I love blue, as you know, but it's starting to fade into the lilac, and pretty soon, see, we've got the lilac and white, and then it'll be pink. Then I have to decide what way round I'm going to do that. So, don't know. Anyway, there I am talking to you, and I should have been doing this. Look like I had a giant forehead then. Science boffin. But yeah, wow, this chair's. I've put cushions on it to try and make it more comfy. But I just wish I could find my glasses, because I've now got permanent looking dents in my nose. Because although these are pretty nice glasses, it's got those things, and that's not good. I need to Need to find my actual glasses. I got a feeling, I remember some time ago hearing something went clonk into one of the bins, and if we just emptied the bin, it could have been them, or they're in a bag. Sometimes when I go out in the yarn van and I'm packing orders and stuff, and I bring stuff back in, and it might be yarn that I'm bringing in, I just put all of my stuff in the bag. Phone, order book, glasses, they all go in. And if I brought out the phone and order book at some point, not the glasses, chances are it could be in a bag, or they could be in a bin, who knows. But it's so annoying. I really need them. I do have another pair, but I've got a feeling that that has another centerpiece like this, but I will find them blue ones. I used to use them all the time, so they may be okay. Anyway, thank you so much for spending some time with me while I crochet, and I will see you guys on the next one. So this might pop up while I'm away, actually. So while I'm away, I will be making videos out and about, showing bits and pieces of like Amsterdam, Denmark, Sweden, and the ship. I will be doing that. I do that every time I go away. I like to do the out and abouts and a few bits of interest. So yeah, we'll be doing that, so watch out for them. Okay, I'll see you on the next one, guys. Take care. By the way, if you haven't already, don't forget to hit the subscribe button and the notification bell, and if you could like, share and hype the video, also helps my channel. Bye for now, guys.